What
Man,
up, man?
what up? What up?
It's been a
Man,
long time.
man, long time, too long, but we are back in the building. Welcome to the SCD podcast, your homie LV, and hmm, the new name, First Round Exit T.
You know I got to troll. I got
Yes,
to troll my boy, man.
it's well deserved. Well
Well
deserved.
deserved.
We'll get into that a little later. It's a history behind that.
We'll
When the rest of,
explain it as the
right,
show goes on.
rest of the guys get in here, we talk about it. What's going on, man?
That man, chilling, man. Sunday. Feel like we ain't been on the podcast in like some months, man. But it's good to be back, man. Got a lot of stuff we got to talk about, man. We got to try to figure out some things with this NBA. So I'm ready to get to it, man. What's up
Yes.
with you?
Man, the same thing, man. Just that's kind of why we doing on Sundays now, man. Everybody, all of us are fathers, and we all have our kids and different activities. Your
Thanks.
kids doing what taekwondo,
Taekwondo.
taekwondo, yes,
Got two
yes,
ninjas in training right now.
yes. So yeah, I was doing baseball coaching. Marv was doing baseball with his kids. Nucho has basketball with his son. So we're just trying to find the best way to do it. We're still gonna do every other week until it
Right.
ends pick up. But hey, man, I'm happy to be back. What's up, Leisha? What's up, Zoe? What up? What
What
up,
up, Zoe? What up,
man?
Lisa?
Happy to be
Appreciate
back.
y'all.
So we have Nutro's gonna pop in a minute. He's finna. We have a so y'all. We talked about it before. We have a Madden league that we're in. It's very critical, very important. Neutral's finishing up. He'll be on the second. Mars should be two. But man, while we waiting on them to come in, we can talk about what we drinking on, man. If you're drinking on anything, I know for me, it's been hot. Yeah,
Yeah.
I tell you all the time, I had the hottest room in the house. So I got the fan on right here. I'm trying, but I got my tequila. As hot as it
You and that,
is, I'm still sipping on my tequila, man.
I just finished the last little bit of my
Okay.
Indigo.
I ain't had it in a minute. Give me some, man. This tequila get hot too fast, man. I need something
Yeah.
a little smoother. But but yeah, man. So like you said, a lot of NBA stuff talking, but not too much NFL, but really gonna dig deep into the NBA. But I think the last time we were talking to you guys, I think it was the finals had just started, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. Um, um, oh yeah. Zoe stay on that tequila too. He's stay on it too.
Oh,
What up,
yeah.
Brooks? What up, Brooks?
What up, Brooks?
Yeah. So last time we was talking right before the NBA final. I think we talked game one. I think, but nonetheless, um, Nuggets convincing win. Um, long overdue for that franchise. The many stars they had, Carmelo and Mutombo, for Joker and the guys get it done, man. It was big for them. Um, and shout out to the Heat, man. I mean that team. I think in the beginning of the season, I don't think nobody picked them.
They wasn't supposed to be
They
there.
weren't supposed to be there.
Supposed to be there.
And I have a whole new respect. I never thought Jimmy Butler was trash. I never thought he was a bad player, but I never looked at him as a top 10, top 15 player. Man,
Right.
he gets it done for that team. Man, he is a franchise changer for them, and getting them to the finals. They just didn't have enough firepower. That Denver team is loaded and will be loaded for the next few years. So you got any take on it about what
I
we see?
mean, I wasn't surprised, honestly. And it's crazy because, when it comes to the NBA and the finals, I'm locked in. I'm tuned in. I really didn't watch too much of the NBA
Yeah,
finals just because, for one, I knew Denver was going to take it. Like, if you look at that team from top to bottom, that team is loaded. And then, they got arguably the best center in the league right now. So I knew it was gonna be the way it took place. I knew it was gonna be Denver was gonna, just overpower them boys. The Heat, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, it was good that the Heat was there. Shout out to Jimmy Butler, but there was no match for Denver. And I really didn't even take interest in it just because I knew Denver was gonna just kill them. And that's exactly what they did. It's good for Joker too. The fact that he's winning he won, a few MVPs. Now he's able to add that championship trophy to it as well. He has a hell of a resume. Hell of a resume. So, he's probably gonna mess around and be first ballot Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Denver Nuggets, man. That team was deep and they was rolling the whole playoffs.
I think it's solidified the number one in the Battle Hall of Fame. The
Yeah, for
three
sure.
MVPs, what he did in the playoffs and the finals. But shout out to Jamal Murray too. That boy was balling, man. And I didn't. I think Nucho was one of the guys who was on the Murray bandwagon. I think I can remember, but he definitely raised some eyebrows. I didn't like you said the finals. I kind of expected that to be what it was, but up until that point, man, he was killing it. That 1-2 punch with him and Joker is crazy. I mean, for them to know that's what they're going to do and execute it against that pretty good defensive team,
Yeah.
shout out to them, man. Yeah, Nucha, we just going on NBA Finals, man. If you want to give your take on, I know it's been a while. That's the last time we talked to the people, man. Was getting the NBA Finals.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I did not watch much of the finals. Honestly, bro, I had one team that I wanted to win. That was Denver after they beat LA. Just with the type of team Denver was, it just seemed like Joker leading, Jamal Murray, and also the bench. Denver bench was amazing. Also Gordon. I think Gordon was slipped on, man. Gordon was amazing. He was really an X factor. I know in that Lakers series, he was really an X factor. But I was happy to see how it played out, though. I'm happy that Joker got one just to switch it up a little bit. Just to switch it up, man. Bring new fans. And also, like you said, with Murray balled out, man. Murray balled out. He's a hell of an athlete, hell of a player too, man. I feel like he's one of the best slept on guards in the league right now.
I would have to agree after that performance, and it's crazy because Denver was the number one seed, I think last year. It was a top seed coming. It was all it's the Nuggets. I mean, yeah, it's the Nuggets. We're not worried about them. They don't have what it takes, and now they're even trolling LeBron. I mean, you do that as a champion, you get to do that. You get to do that, and like I said, shout out to the Nuggets, man. Like I said, we just want to just rewind that. We didn't really give our take on it. We wasn't on the show, but yeah. So let's if y'all want to get right to these big trades that happened last week too. Uh, Starting off with Chris Paul. This where you thought maybe over with. Maybe he's gonna finish out his career and retire in Washington because they traded him to Washington. Next thing you know, he's a Warrior, and that drastically changes. It changes the Warriors. I give my take. I think he's he's not really needed, but I think it takes a lot of pressure off Steph as a ball handler. Steph can now mainly play two. You can move Clay to three. He's better as an off ball anyway. So now it takes a lot of pressure off him. That's a lot of wear and tear on just bringing the ball up. Chris Paul ain't got to worry about scoring. He don't have to worry about scoring or doing that extra. Three other guys can get it to before him. I think they basically are the same team. I think they're still a threat as usual. As long as you got those two in the backcourt with Clay and Steph, we're good. And now we don't know what's happening with Draymond declining his 29 million, 28 million. I most likely, like we talked about it, he'll bring him back in on a smaller contract just to be a part and help somebody else get on the team.
I mean, I think it's a decent move. I mean, I feel like when you trade a player like Jordan Poole, like that's a lot of your offense that you're trading away. Now don't get me wrong. I think CP3 still has a little bit left in the tank, man, if he could stay healthy. But I also feel like this move was really done because I think the Warriors believe that Draymond is going to be gone. And if Draymond leaves, you got to have that facilitator. And I think CP3 will fill that void. So I'm not mad at the move. It's going to be interesting to see him and, with him and Clay and Steph and just leading the boys, so running that offense, getting the boys open and leading that pack. I think it's going to be a decent move. I like the move more for Jordan Poole, though, because I think he's going to be a good number one option out there in Washington. I think he'll probably eventually turn into a superstar, just kind of based off of what I've seen from him in Golden State. Yeah. So I like the move more for Washington. But CP3, man, he's got to stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, I think they'll make a run in the playoffs, but I don't see them. This is not a championship move. They need some more. They need some more pieces, if anything. So,
okay. I think you muted, Ujo.
You're on mute.
Did Bob Myers leave Golden State, or is he still there?
The general manager. Say he's on his way out. Honestly.
Yeah, because I knew that there were talks about him leaving. But I honestly, man, this to me don't feel like a Bob Myers move. I don't know. we've watched Bob Myers over the last 4, 5, 7 years construct a great Golden State roster. Like even when they was down, they'll be down one year, then in the championship the next year. The only reason why I kind of don't understand the move is because 2 years ago, Poole got a big contract, man. They believed in that kid, and he played amazing in that finals. We can all say Poole played amazing. I think that this is more with some background stuff, locker room things going on. Absolutely. That they feel like this chemistry can't really, this team really can't fix that chemistry back, man, because man, we thought Golden State had a new light-skinned brother. We was like, Poole, he out here, he on the ladies, he shooting threes, dribbling, got the moves. So it felt like a perfect fit until the Draymond incident happened. And even on the sideline, you can kind of tell that there was a little tension with the team. I personally don't like the trade because I just feel like Jordan Poole upside is sky's the limit. And you're trading for a dinosaur. Now, Chris Paul does bring IQ and a little bit of defense to the team, but does Golden State really need that? I mean, Golden State's been running fine these last couple of years. The offense has been running pretty great. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how Chris Paul fits in because it is a lot of moving around. Well, when Curry's out there, there's a lot of motion, a lot of moving, a lot of screens. It's going to be interesting to see how Chris Paul fit in. Now, what I really want to see, though, is the Chris Paul and Stephen Curry on the court together. That's what I really want to see because I think that may take some pressure off of Curry and, Chris Paul could really show some stuff, playing defense and being able to find Curry. And don't forget, Chris Paul can shoot the 3 too. He can definitely shoot the 3 too. So I really want to see how Curry and Chris Paul gel together. That'll be interesting.
Now, that's the interesting point you brought up about the way they run their offense. I can't see them running their offense. When Jordan Poole comes in for Steph, they can keep the same offense going.
Yeah.
That's not really Chris Paul's game.
Paul,
maybe first, then 3-point. So that's me. Well, what's up? My sister right there. What's up?
Hey.
What's going on? That's gonna be interesting because I didn't think about that fact because offense he can't. I won't say he can't. It's not made.
It's not his style.
Not his style. He's more of a 15-second ball handler when he's holding the ball, looking for making the plays work. Now you come off screens. He's not Rip Hamilton. He can't. That's gonna be tough. That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah. But it's interesting to see him there. I can say this: if I had to put my money on it right now, I can see him being moved before the deadline.
You think so?
I just don't see how that. What does he bring to the table that they need? Now, if he comes in and wows them, like, oh wow, this is nice. You got this whatever it is. But if that offense, like Nucho said, the offense is stagnant when he's on the court. Jordan Poole kept that machine running from off the bench.
Running.
When Steph was out, he was running the same offense.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. Now you got Andrew Wiggins, who's back fully healthy. Where does that leave him?
Yeah. And I think that going forward, what Chris Paul brings to the table to any other NBA team, he'll be a great trade bait. Great trade bait for any other team, man, especially contenders. What he can still bring to the table, that's something interesting too. I can see that happening. I can see
the Lakers waiting until the right opportunity to offer him a trade to get Chris Paul over there. He runs better than their offense. I'm just saying Lakers, that's the first thing I thought of. But I just don't – I think offensively for that team, I don't think he's a fit personally. See something different, they're going to change. And Bob Myers is still running the team over there.
Okay.
They need to add some size too. If you think about their team up and down, they got a small ass team, bro. Even that's Looney. Looney was 6'8", 6'9" center. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Jordan Poole was just the tallest, guard or whatever, but you bringing in a smaller guard that's 38, 39 years old. So it's gonna be.
You get rid of your young big man
on that trade, man.
You get rid of your young big man and Wiseman. I think way too early. I didn't understand that trade. You don't have that rim protection gonna be pretty steep. I mean, you can try to go get a JaVale McGee, one of those guys for the bare minimum. But you need somebody that was tough to get rid of a big man like that. So we're gonna head over to out there in the desert, man. Out there in Phoenix, Bradley Beal, he goes to the Suns. I don't for life me understand. This is not what I mean. He's a good player. He's gonna get you 20, 25 points. I just don't understand it. I don't. He's not a defender. He's not a point guard, which they need a defender or a point guard. They traded. I mean, at Chris Paul, I really think they could have kept him in this situation because he's still the leader. He's healthy. Now look at it now. Who's gonna be the point guard of the team?
I think what Phoenix mindset is, I think they just feel like they're just gonna outscore everybody. And I mean, I they got 3 number ones on this team right now. Who's gonna take the last shot? Who would y'all say would take the last shot with this team right now?
KD.
Give it to KD still.
Yeah.
But you got Devin Booker, who swear he Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna be in KD hands, and he'll make a decision whether he wants to pass it off or take it.
Right.
But yeah, this move too. Also, it's a non-championship move. I don't feel like this is gonna just elevate Phoenix to the championship. You know what I'm saying?
No.
At this point, you know their cap is messed up right now. With even bringing in Bradley Beal right now, you got to trade DeAndre Ayton at this point. And you got to get a nice return. You know what I'm saying? You got to get some pieces with the big 3 that you formed in Phoenix right now, because right now that's all they got. They have no bench. You know, KD is up there in age now. You know what I'm saying? Devin Booker, when it comes to playoff time, which Devin Booker is you going to get? You know, he hasn't pulled up. And then you bring in Bradley Beal, who's really, honestly, he's unproven right now. You know what I'm saying?
Very unproven.
More lights on him now that he's in Phoenix. So we're going to see what happens.
I think he'll get buckets, but it's just going to, it's because they already came out and said they're not trading Ayton. The GM came out and said he's going to stick with Ayton. So he's going to be on the team, which is crazy because I think he is a good trade piece for a team who will want him. I don't think he wants to be there, and I think they rushed to fire Monty Williams. I don't understand that firing. It wouldn't. I can't blame that on him. You made that KD trade, it didn't work out. Chris Paul get hurt. You fired this man who took y'all from, like Charles Barkley said on TNT. It's selling stale nachos. The arena seats ain't cushioned. Like he you know. Now you get you get a coach who's pulling them back out of that obscurity, and then you get rid of them.
Yeah,
the Pistons paid top money to get him over there. He is a game changer. I think he's a good coach, hell of a good coach.
Right.
I don't see how it's gonna work. Now it's just us talking. We'll see soon enough. But I'm looking at it far. They get buckets. There's a lot of shots through it. Who's gonna throw out the most shots? Who's gonna get judged to take the most shots? You know, it don't take much to piss KD off at all.
No. Yeah, I think. I'm agreeing with both of y'all, man. I'm still not sold on the team because one thing, the number one reason why I'm not sold on the team is because there's still no leadership. We all know KD's not a leader. He hasn't been. He doesn't want to. All he want to do is play basketball and put up good numbers. I mean, with no leadership, I can't buy into it. I just feel like this might just be another one of those teams that, you know, they're going to do some playoffs, get out the first round, but around second or third, they'll probably be going home. So I'm just not bought into it because I don't see the leadership. Definitely with bringing DeAndre Ayton back. I could just see it now, like the no defense being played, and I mean I can already see it, man. I'm still picking Denver over Phoenix Suns right now. I don't think that Phoenix.
I mean, they have probably the best player in the game right now. He's playing lights out. I mean, he's in that pick and roll, like me and Trill was saying before you got on, New Joe. That pick and roll they're doing with Joe
is deadly.
And then you sprinkling a little bit of Gordon, like you said, who's shocking the world right
now. And that's the thing that I think is going to eat up Phoenix the most is that, of course, you want all 3 of these guys on the court at the same time, but who's going to play that defense? Who's going to be hustling? Who's going to be getting those steals? Who's going to be locking up people? That's not their specialty. Not one of them. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I just think that it might backfire on them. It might backfire on him, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
I mean,
We'll see, man.
especially that tough West. That tough West.
The West is tough, man.
It's
That
still a
West is
playoff team. It's gonna be a playoff team, but what do you do with that? Like
right.
at this point, and this might be controversial, but I think um I don't know, man. That KD ring he got in Golden State, man, started looking a little fuzzy, man, because they gave him star after star after star after star, and he just. And I would say it's all on him, but it's tough,
Right.
man. Like what, like you supposed to be top. He is top 3, 4 player in the NBA,
He is.
surrounded by talent every year.
Yeah.
The Golden State where they already had, they didn't need KD.
At all.
You know, they got the rings with him, and then after that, he hasn't been back to the finals since, has he?
No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're gonna go over to. I combine this next one together. The Grizzlies and the Celtics. The Grizzlies get Marcus Smart, and the Celtics get Porzingis. Who came out better than that? Because I think they was all in a three-way trade together with this one. And the Celtics ship off their best on-ball defender by far, the defensive player of the year.
Right.
Get rid of him. You bring back a guy who's, injuries catch up with him. He's still a solid big man, but I don't understand it. The Grizzlies got better, in my opinion. The Celtics took a step back because now you have 3 or 4 players that can play that same position. You still got Reggie Williams. You still got Al Horford. You still got Tatum, who's not really a power forward, but you catch the drift. You don't have that on ball defender dog that they had in Smart. You get rid of him, who also was a pretty decent scorer.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like both teams won. Just from a basketball standpoint, you bring in KP. Look at KP numbers last year. He actually balled out with Washington. He did his thing. He was able to stay healthy. You bring in that type of big to stretch the floor. That's only going to make JB and Tatum even that much better. So I like the move for the Celtics. I love the move for the Grizzlies just because essentially you're replacing Dillon Brooks with Marcus Smart. And I think Marcus Smart is a whole lot better than Dillon Brooks right now. Also, too, I like the move for the Grizzlies just because you bring in a veteran, Marcus Smart, and you know the situation with Ja Morant. I think he can kind of help Ja. They need that veteran. They need that voice in that locker room, and I think Marcus Smart can be that for Ja. So I like it for that move. I like the move just based off of that alone. But again, I think the Celtics, man, that type of move there, even though I know you're giving up your best defender, you still got a defender in Tatum. You still got JB who gonna play his ass off on defense. So you still got your defense.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So this move right here I feel like it's a championship type move for the Celtics.
Who's gonna be that? Well, okay, so who's gonna be their point guard?
I mean, they still got Brogdon, I believe, don't they?
Yep.
They still got Brogdon.
But I thought, don't Brogdon got like some major injury or something? Like
I heard he had.
I thought that's why he couldn't get traded because he got like some injury. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to look into it.
He was supposed to be in somebody's trade. I think he got.
And then you're right.
He was definitely in one of the trades. I think he was traded. He was supposed to be traded to the Lakers, and it was
the Clippers. It was the
Clippers, and the Celtics was supposed to get Tyus Jones, who got he was a part of that. The original trade was supposed to be with the Wizards with them, those 3, and it got voided. And I remember I didn't read up on why it did, but that could be the reason why.
It might be the reason why. Yeah,
was on that list. So but I totally forgot about Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is a defensive dog, but I'm looking at defensive player of the year.
Yeah,
that's a big loss.
That helps out, like the True said, it helps out the Grizzlies because with Ja gone for the first 25 games, he can play point guard. He can score. He's not Ja, but he can run the offense. They still got some dogs over there with what's short arm name?
Baines,
Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. They got some dogs over there, and I think Adams should be back for the year too. Steven Adams, who's hurt all playoffs, so I can see. But I can see where you see the Porzingis helping Boston out because Horford is good, and at some point you can have Horford and Porzingis and Tatum out there. It could be hazardous for some teams too. So.
Yeah, I think it feels like a win-win for both teams to me because I just feel like with Porzingis, you're not asking him to be the second, a first scorer. Like you won't be the third or fourth option, and I think that might help Porzingis because I mean, any way we put it, the boy's still 7'3". I mean, he's still 7'3", man. So I think it might help. I think that'll definitely help Boston, and that Memphis trade is going to be kind of interesting too because I mean. Would you play Bane, Ja, and Marcus all on the court at the same time? Yeah. Okay.
I would try it out.
Yeah.
When Ja comes back,
right.
I try it out. Playoffs might be a little different, but if it works,
it works. Yeah, that's a win.
I think they all 6'5" and under, 6'4".
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I also feel like too, Memphis really did this move as well because I think they got some things planned coming free agency. So I think they're gonna be some big players in free agency. But they need to bring in another wing. I feel like a wing with some length. You know what I'm saying? Bane, I love Bane, but he's not. His short arms scare me, bro. Like he's not doing nothing on the defensive end.
Right.
But yeah, I think they did that move also too because I think they got some things they plan on doing some things in free agency. So
I also think the Grizzlies have an emergency plan for Ja. Like if things don't work out with Ja, I think they have a package ready to ship him out. I didn't hear it from nobody. This is my personal opinion. I think it's being strike 2 already. I think they have an emergency plan set up. I don't think that Marcus Smart thing was just we're gonna need another guard lockdown guard. I think this is part of their plan long term. Things don't work out with Ja.
Are you hearing whispers? Have you heard whispers?
No, I didn't know whispers. I'm whispering to myself.
Okay.
Like
Pillow talking to. Okay.
They gotta have a backup plan because
you got to. But the rate is going level with Ja. Yeah.
All right. So another big topic. It's big. I guess it's the only topic people talk about now is Dave getting traded or not? I'm tired at this point. I'm tired of hearing about it. Is he going? He be trolling on Instagram, talking to cats. Oh, it will be. How about looking this jersey? Like, is he getting traded?
Who is Dame becoming? Because 4 or 5 years ago, it was all loyal to the soil. That's all I was hearing. Loyalty.
I'm thinking Dame loves the spotlight. I think he loves people are talking about him because I think this is recent though. Because before he didn't care what nobody thought. He was Dame. Everybody loved him. Now he's like, I'm loving it. I think he loves it.
I think Dame is kind of hit the fan on who he can and who he will become if he stays in Portland. And I think he wants change. I think he does. Dame's been there long enough. He knows how hard it is to get a superstar. You got aging Melo. That was probably the best thing to come out there. But it's hard to get people to come play in Portland, man. It's tough, man. And as good as Dame is, people still don't want to take that risk to go out there and play with him. So I think it's kind of hit the fan with Dame after losing the playoffs, that he's probably just sick of it and just want to see new scenery.
He's not saying that, though. He's still saying I'm a Portland guy, but he's still
trying to,
I'm the type of dude that I'm like, I'm not going to buy into. When I saw my boy, one of my favorite guys at ESPN still, Scott Van Pelt. When I see him doing potential trade for him, I'm like, it's something to it. And for him to do that on his show, was it last night? Showing different trade potential packages and stuff like that. Solo. Right. He was doing that solo. So
and also with the addition of Scoop, the point guard. They drafted a point guard in the with a top pick. I mean, that may be what Dame is looking at. Like, okay, what pick did Portland have? 2 or 3? They had 3, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
Because Jim already said he's not gonna get rid of Dame because of that. He didn't say he's not getting rid of him. He said I wouldn't trade him because
we're drafting him. Okay.
Yeah.
What you think, Trim? What's your speculations?
Man, it's a tough one, man. Just because it feels like he's getting traded. Honestly, it really feels like and it's been like this the last couple of years. We've been asking this question at least the last 3 years, 2 years. This year really feel like it might happen just because, like you said, the first round pick, they drafted a point guard. And then Dame is on IG, trolling, doing things that is not really common for him. But I also look at it like this: if you are going to trade Dame, you need to go ahead and trade him now while his value is high. And don't wait until the season and he gets hurt, because he gets hurt sometimes. You might as well go ahead and get some pieces and get some young pieces for him and send him on his way, because he's been loyal to y'all. But I don't feel like, if I'm Dame, y'all, what are y'all doing to give me a championship here in Portland? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's his mindset right now, and I feel like he should want to be traded. Honestly, he should want to go to a contender.
He has to say that though, because it goes back to what Neutral said. And you just said it. Like, who's going to Portland? Like, unless they make a trade for somebody there, nobody's saying, "Oh, let's go to Portland. Let's go play out." Nobody's doing that. No. So I think it hypened up once Bill got traded. Because Bill was one of those guys too, said, "No, I'm staying here in Washington. I'm signing a mega deal. I'm staying here." Next thing you know, boom, traded. So I think that kind of raised eyebrows. Like, wait, maybe I should get up out of here. I mean, I've been loyal as long as I could. I did all I could. We got some iconic playoff dubs. I got enough for Portland to say, "Hey, you know what? He was a good guy. He did all he could." I don't know. Like, I want him to. I love to see him playing in a bigger market, and we can see him all the time. I mean, he's a big enough draw. We can see his highlights, but I would love to see him in a prime time game versus his team versus such and such team. We don't get to see it. First of all, Portland, when they play on TNT, it's the second hour. It's the second game, so it's kick off
10 o'clock at night.
And then I hope he gets traded. I mean, he did all.
Where would you want to see him go if he does get traded? You got some teams in mind?
Honestly, and people probably gonna say I'm gonna say the Lakers. I would like to see him with the Clippers.
The Clippers.
I would like to see that Clippers move him, PG. But one of the things,
keep all of them now.
Well, I'm just saying it's But one of the interesting things I did see, Stephen A. Smith, not Stephen A. Smith, but Scott Van Pelt say was him getting some of the Clippers guys traded to Portland. With him and was Paul George, another guy going to Portland for some picks and some talent. But who knows?
They are stopping Paul George too, by the way.
Yeah. So Clippers for me, Even did they trade Paul George for him. You still got Kawhi. You still got it's him, Kawhi. I mean, they built on that. Zubac. Zubac is still there. Reggie Jackson, get him out of there. Why is Reggie Jackson still?
Reggie Jackson won a championship in Denver. Let's not forget. He was a 15th man. He plays for the Nuggets.
He did.
Oh, he's in Denver?
He's in Denver. Yep.
You wouldn't know because he don't get no playing time.
He don't get no playing time.
Reggie Jackson got all right. Shout out to Reggie Jackson, man.
Shout out Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson, man.
I would want to see him go to Miami, though. Honestly, I want Pat Riley to make it happen. I want to see him get Jimmy some help, and so why not Dame?
I'm so tired of Kyle Lowry. I ain't gonna lie. He's useless. Kyle Lowry.
He showed up though. He showed up in the playoffs. As much as I don't like him, he gonna show up in the playoffs. For he gonna take a charge or two and hit a key three.
Yeah.
So,
we had two interesting players decline their player options. We all know about Draymond. He's 27 million, but Chris Middleton declines a $40 million player option. The heck is going on in Milwaukee when he declines $40 million? Because I don't think he's going to get that. He's already 30 plus years old.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get that unless he's just really tired of being there or he wants to play for I mean, but Milwaukee is a contender. Giannis was hurting at his last series, and it just got once he came back, it still wasn't the same. He won a ring with him.
I
Right.
think I think the Middleton decline was more for him to take a discount for them to try to bring in another piece to try to get a championship. Is my opinion. I feel like he'll try. I think he will pretty much. I think he's gonna rework his deal, and I think he'll probably get like a smaller contract. Just being loyal to Milwaukee. I don't see him going nowhere else. Honestly, now Draymond, I kind of expected that. I mean, I think that was already put in motion at the beginning of the season. Honestly, but I think Draymond returns possibly. If he does leave, I think he's going to want to play with LeBron, or he might even want to play with Luka. He want to play if he does go to somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? He played with Steph all these years. He's going to want to play with another superstar. Why not Luka? Why not?
I like him to Dallas.
Yeah.
That would help you tremendously. I mean, he's a solid defender. He can actually run plays for the team. He take a little pressure off Luka, and especially if Kyrie comes back, that'll be a big help.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nucha? What's your feelings about mostly Middleton?
Yeah, I'm with Trill with the Chris Middleton thing. I mean, I think that Milwaukee kind of they won a championship or they won a championship before, and I think I mean, why would you want to leave that? Honestly, why would you want to leave that unless you're just really going for the money? And so I think that what Trill said possibly is the best option. Take less money. And just try to get some more pieces in there, even smaller pieces,
What's because him declining 40 million is just for this upcoming season. And there's no big free agent splashes they can make or sign.
Right.
So even if you want to take less money, who you get, unless you get a bunch of role players that we just can't foresee happening. I mean,
right.
Just to have on the squad because they did need help when Giannis went down and hurt.
They do need help. Yeah.
That hurt tremendously. Even when he came back, he won 100%.
He was 100. Yeah.
Miami, and we see how Miami doing. Miami's doing with a bunch of scrappy players. That's good players, but mostly scrappy. Maybe they're trying to go that route, but $40 million is tough because he probably won't see $40 million again.
No. And Draymond's not going to see 27. I mean, it's crazy declining that type of money, man. Like, I would think that you would accept it and just request a trade.
I'm gonna look at the Draymond thing a different way. I think he's setting himself up for life after basketball. He already has a it's popular podcast. People love to hear what he has to say. I think he could be the second coming of Stephen A. to a point where every time he talks, people listen. I saw him on the episode of on LeBron show. What was the shop barbershop? Yeah. He like a natural. He like somebody who's destined to do stuff like that after basketball. Yeah. So I think him turning down at 26 million is different from Chris Middleton. Not saying he has to save the money or doesn't have anything else to do, but I can see Draymond making a lot more money. Even taking over on TNT when Shaq or Barkley leaves. I can see him being that one of those guys up there with on that panel.
I believe he already has a contract with TNT, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah.
So that's the thing about that. Yeah. So I think he's not really too much worried about it. I think he knows long term he can make that back.
He's good either way. Yeah.
Anything else NBA related you want to talk to before we switch over to our couple of NFL topics?
The draft was interesting. Shout out to my Mavs. They made some good moves that I love. They got rid of Bertans' contract. He was getting a lot of money for only playing 11 minutes a night. So you got to get rid of that contract. You draft a need in Derek Lively. Can't wait to see what he's going to do for the Mavs. And then also, too, you bring in Rashad Holmes from the Kings. You know what I'm saying? Another player that's going to add depth to the front court. I'm just glad that we're getting away from Dwight Powell. It seemed like that's the direction that we're going into. So I'm not mad at that at all. I just hope that, we are able to re-sign Kyrie And I love the direction that the team is going, more defensive minded. They was also able to trade right back into the first round and draft the boy Omax. You know what I'm saying? A long defender that can shoot. So hey, shout out to the Mavs, man. Shout out Cuban and Nico.
Okay. Any thoughts on the draft? Neutral, he was talking about the draft pick y'all got, with the moves y'all made.
Yeah. I mean, of course, with the Spurs, we already know what they did. I really like the Charlotte pick. I like that kid they got out of who's that? Arkansas. The big man they got. I believe he came from Arkansas. Definitely looking forward to seeing him and LaMelo do some things. I like the school kid that Portland got. And I'm just now looking up this kid that the Dallas Mavericks picked up. He looked interesting. I think that they're trying to get a more Luka type friendly offense. Get a big. Luka like to shoot. Hell, get a big down there. Get somebody that can get the rebounds and put it back. So I'm gonna be honest. After that, I didn't really pay attention to anything out of the top 10, top 15. But the top 10 picks, I'm really interested in watching. Yeah, I didn't see any sleepers. Anybody stood out to y'all that got drafted a little later? Also the Monty Banks.
Monty Banks, that's what I was going to
say. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. And he went to Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So Cleveland low key is looking like Cleveland's getting better and better. They got some young talent out there also with the two centers they got. Mobley that they picked up. And also with Garland and Allen Garland. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what Cleveland do with that Bates guy. I know he's definitely going to get some playing time.
Yeah, Bates. Bates was a guy who got a lot of trouble. Had to go switch different high schools, different colleges from out of Detroit. I'm thinking though that watching the Cleveland Cavaliers in the playoffs. I'm a huge Spider Mitchell fan. I'm gonna say huge. I'm a Spider Mitchell fan.
Yeah.
He took entirely too many shots. 3-pointers. Yeah. I think he was playing out his game. And I think that's the downfall of having a small backcourt.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I don't know if you guys disagree or agree. I think one of them has to go in the next 1 or 2 years.
Garland and Mitchell.
It's just too small of a backcourt. And both of them are mostly scorers. They're not defenders either. But watching Mitchell just throw up shots, I'm like, what is he? He knows 4 of the players on the court with him, right?
If you were a GM and you had to get rid of one of them, who are you shipping away? I like Garland, bro.
I like Garland, but you talking about
I like Garland.
And Mitchell. I always thought Mitchell would come out that draft was going to be better than Ben Simmons, and he's proved that. But I just think.
I think Mitchell will give you a better return.
Yeah.
If you trade out of the two, you're gonna get more value from Mitchell. So you might as well just try to build around Garland and that front court that they got.
Right.
Yeah, you get a Monty Bates, you get the young team. I definitely keep Allen along for. Well, I mean, I don't know, because now with Mobley, he's tall, he's a defender. I don't think you need Allen right in the short term. I mean, long term. Short term, yeah, you keep him there, but I don't know. I think Allen and Mitchell. I think you packing them for something.
Yeah.
Who knows? I just can't. That was tough watching him play. I mean, he had some shots, but he was throwing up some craziness.
Right.
And I'm just not a believer of a small backcourt, man. You got to have. I mean, if you're gonna be that short, man, you got to. 2 of them. 1 of them is cool, but 2 of them.
Yeah.
But and then I like the Lakers pick. What's his name? Jalen Hood. I can't.
He got 2 last names, don't he?
Yeah. Hood, I don't know how to say it last. I don't want to. Yeah. Reading a lot of teams. I think they got a B+ and a B grade from ESPN and Bleacher Report on that pick. I think he's more of a guard. I mean, he is a small forward, shooting guard kind of thing, help out.
Right.
Because now, while I think, what's the kid that had number 17? Schroeder.
Schroeder, yeah.
Schroeder, he proved that he could play some good defense.
I like Schroeder.
His shot. Have you seen him shoot? He has
Yeah,
the longest release, so by the
yeah,
time it's hard for him to get an open shot because his
yeah,
release is so long.
yeah.
Um, I think with Jalen Hood, and then you got Reeves who's gonna get the bag. I like that pick. I I think going young and having him be in the rotation is good. We've seen Vanderbilt, we've seen Hachimura shoot the lights out in the playoffs. I like the Lakers team. I do think they need to make one more trade possibly to help out. With LeBron and AD could possibly be out for injuries or whatever. But I like that pick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good pick. Yeah, yeah. I definitely want to. Lakers needed that draft pick too. I
Yeah,
think he's going to be somebody that might, unless he just falls off. I think he's going to be in the rotation in the regular season.
yeah, and I hate, and I think we talked about this the other day in the chat. Most with our homeboy Dolly, who's going to be on our show soon, especially when the NBA come back up. I'm tired of hearing the rumors of Indiana. I'm tired of hearing every season. Oh, we're gonna get Turner and who's the other guy?
Turning,
Turner,
Buddy,
what's our boy
buddy,
name? Buddy
Buddy
Hill.
Hill.
Buddy
Man,
Hill.
like Doggy said, man, let me play basketball. Quit putting my name in these trade rumors and nothing happen. I would love to see it happen.
Right.
I don't say the link. Like I don't think that's a big trade that they have to get. But they do need to do something though. It don't have to be. It don't have to be a name. It don't have to be a big name. It's a piece that come in and help out immediately.
Right. Right.
And they do got the big boy coming back. Thomas Bryant coming back from off injury for next year. Dude from Washington they got. All right, we got a couple of NFL topics, man. Nothing too big, but I know the biggest thing we talked about is Cook wants to team up with D Hop, but where? That's it. He already.
I know the team, bro. It's just sitting there.
Go ahead.
It's the Patriots. I feel like it needs to be the Patriots. I go back and I see that conversation that D Hop had with Belichick after that game they had. And Belichick was showing D Hop a lot of love and vice versa. I feel like that's the team that it needs to be. I feel like I'm not a fan of Mac Jones, but if you add a Dalvin Cook and you add a DeAndre Hopkins, you got some nice pieces there. You got Juju in there. You still got the boy Stevenson, the other running back. So I feel like that's the team it should happen, with, honestly. And I think both of them will be able to, be successful out there with Belichick in New England. So
yeah, because Matt Jones can't be no worse than what Kyler Murray was this past season. Granted, he was coming off an injury. He didn't, but geez. But that's interesting. That's the first time I heard that the Patriots. Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you got to think about it. Dalvin Cook don't want cheap money. Like he wants money. Like he don't want to go to anything for cheap. And I think the Patriots have enough to get them both.
I'm sure they do.
What's up, Mel? Yeah, that's good take.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go the opposite, man. I would like to see him team up somewhere, but I don't know. Is it gonna happen? What's his name? Cook look like he wants a lot of money. I think D Hop wants a lot of money too. I think he wants a little bit more than the Odell Beckham deal.
He should.
Like, you say he should? Yeah. Fair. That is fair. It's just interesting, man. I just feel like I'm getting older, man. Watching D Hop, we watched D Hop for a while, man. D Hop has been that dude, but now to know that he's a free agent and nobody's really biting on it, man. The NFL,
that's crazy.
NFL is just funny, man, and that's how it is. You just know you're getting older because 5 years ago, man, D Hop would have been gone. D Hop would have been on somebody's team by now.
Once you hit the 30-year mark, it's tough.
It's tough. It's tough, man. It's real tough. But I just want to see D Hop get a ring. Honestly, I don't really have nothing tied to Cook. I wish him the best. He'll go somewhere. But D Hop, I've been watching D Hop for a while, man. I know D Hop grinds hard, man. Yeah, I would like to see D Hop go to a team and get a ring, man. This was the dude. Anybody go look at this highlight. There was a cornerback by the name of D'Angelo Hall talking mess to D Hop. D Hop was just a young cat in the NFL in training camp, just trying to make his name. Nobody really know who this kid was. Well, he put a move on D'Angelo Hall so cold. D'Angelo Hall tore something in his leg and was out for the rest of the season.
I'll never forget that.
Man, so when I talk about D-Hop, that's what I'm always show. I'm gonna be, hey man, don't look at this clip. Don't look what D-Hop was doing to boys. But I just wish that he'll go somewhere, go to a contender. And I want to see him get a ring, man. I really want to see D-Hop in Kansas City. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see D-Hop in there with the Chiefs, man. I just don't think they got the money that he wants, but he's gonna have to make a sacrifice.
If they want a team together, somebody's gonna have to take a pay cut. Somebody's gonna have to take a pay cut. And it's probably gonna have to be Dalvin Cook.
Where would y'all like to see D-Hop at? I know you said Patriots Trio, but that's Cook together. Where would you like to see D-Hop go? Without Cook, just him on some solo stuff.
Right on his hat.
Nah. I mean, I would, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing that, but the fact that they traded for Brandon Cooks is not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I'm cool with what we got right now. Right. But if we talking about DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, Buffalo, I would like to see him out there with Josh Allen and
that'll be dope. Oh, that'll be dope.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. And like you said, Kansas City too. You know what I'm saying? Him and Patrick Mahomes.
I think him and Patrick Mahomes would be a good fit.
Kansas City, if you think about it, they really don't have a number one option. Or like a receiver wise. Travis Kelce, they number one.
Yeah, receiver wise, no.
Yeah, that'll be a nice fit. Him and Patrick Mahomes.
And to be honest, I mean, even when you look at Kansas City, like it's all Mahomes a bust. But that's what you pay for. When you pay that type of money for a quarterback, they expect you to make it happen without big name receivers.
He did. That Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he did.
Who was this guy?
Yeah, man. That's what you look for, man. So, what about you, Vid? Where would you like to see D-Hop?
I'm going complete opposite. I would like to see him in a Jets uniform. I would love to see him out there before Lazard, before Randall Cobb. I would love to see him with Rodgers. Rodgers has always been one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. May not be my top 5, but watching him play all his career, it was exciting. He buys time for the receivers. He had a dog with Devontae Adams. He still got a dog without him. Just imagine him, Devontae, with D-Hop, and out there in New Jersey, East Rutherford, where they play it. Right. I would love to see that. That would be my number one team to go to. Like I could have easily said Lions or whatever. But no, I would love to see him in a Jets uniform, or somehow they work out a deal. He go out there and with your boy out there in the Chargers. I'm looking for these underrated teams. You're like, oh wait, that makes sense,
right?
I mean, you both gave good picks, but Jets number one for me. Him and Rodgers with Breece Hall coming back off injury, that young team with that veteran receiver with those young. They already got a dog they got from Tennessee who just gave them away. Yeah.
Come on, D-Hop. Somebody pick my boy up, man. Come on.
All right. So another thing I saw before we get to our last topic, man. This popped up earlier today. Antonio Brown first loses AFL team. Now he's saying he's blaming Tom Brady for his infamous shirtless exit during the Jets game. So, word is he was talking about not playing. Brady, he said Brady got him on the phone. He said, man, listen, you play this game, I promise you get 10 to 15 touches. So when those touches wasn't adding up, he said Brady was the reason why. Because he told him, I said, man, he said, I'm hurt. I want to sit this out. Let me sit it out. He said Brady convinced him to play. And Arians was getting in his face about him playing, not putting up his potential. And then he not getting the touches to where he said, all right, I'm out. And then you lose your AFL team.
Yeah. You know what? And even with that said, Antonio Brown, you still a clown, bro. You still a clown.
End of the day.
You still a clown, man. Like, well, what you did to this AFL team, they're gonna make a 30 for 30 about you. Like, you literally you literally wrecked an arena football league team that was running perfectly fine until you got there. Just wrecked them. The team is not even in the league anymore because of Antonio Brown. So
I'm
think about
surprised he didn't put out the games, but
That's
been kicked out of arena football games.
So yeah, Brian. So think about all the players that are not getting their paycheck. Everybody that got to take care of their families is because of you, and you don't. So that's another thing. And then with the Brady debacle, bro, I don't. One thing I like professionals. I like Larry Fitzgerald's. I like Marvin Harrison's. I like professionals, man. I don't want to hear about your extra stuff. Can you play a kid?
Did he say Marvin Harrison?
Marvin Harrison for the Colts.
Well, I'm not gonna speak.
I'm not even gonna say what I'm about to say.
Now, his off the field stuff. We're not gonna talk about that.
Oh, okay.
I said I like professionals on the field. You would never know about off the field.
I never heard Marvin Harrison's voice
at all, bro. So Larry Fitzgerald, another perfect example, man. Like, just go out there and play your game, man. Go out there, all this extra stuff. To me, you being extra. So let's pipe down Antonio Brown for a while, man. Can he please get out the spotlight? Can we get rid of? How do we get rid of Antonio Brown, man? Because it ain't. He don't do nothing good. He's not like. This is the same dude that sent. I don't even want to say what he sent to his baby mama, but this dude is just. He's no good for football, man. I pray for the guy. I wish him the best. I don't think he's a bad dude. I don't. I just think that he gets too much attention that he shouldn't. And like Antonio Brown, man, we're gonna pray for him, man.
Finding ways to get attention because at first he said Bruce Arians was the reason why he walked off the field. Now
it's Brady.
He loses his team. Now it's Brady's fault.
It's Brady.
Like, quarterback.
Brady.
The one that had
Brady.
House.
Brady got you a Super Bowl, man. Brady got you a Super Bowl, man.
Clown.
Yeah.
Great clown.
I don't know, man. I didn't think he's been cursed ever since he duped the Raiders. This is that Raiders dupe. It's haven't been the same, man. L after L, just a walking L, man. And he was a great receiver.
He was. He was.
Hall of Fame potential.
Yeah. Antonio Brown in his prime was amazing. Amazing. Punt return, kick return, everything. He was amazing. I just think that once he got the money, man, money and who was the dude that was knocking him out? Who's the dude that knocked him out, man? Vontez. Yeah, man. But when he got that money, man, this whole diva just came out. Like, you was a quiet kid from Central Michigan, man. He got this money. He just turned into another monster, bro. And I know deep down inside he probably not really like that, but he far too gone by now. He far too gone.
You could watch him and then you say, "Oh man, I can relate to him." I see.
Yeah, he was a good kid, like he always said. Yeah.
Then it goes way right. Like how you wait Brady for you walking off the field, taking your shirt off, throwing your jersey in the stadium.
You know who kind of opened my eyes to Antonio Brown, Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp was never really on. Even when he was with Pittsburgh, Shannon Sharp was like, "Man, y'all buying that?" He get on there talking all nice, smiling, but his actions off the field showing something. Shannon Sharp was never, and I was like, "Shannon, you kind of too hard on him." Then the stuff started hitting the fan. I was like, "Damn, Antonio Brown really is a character. Like, this dude is a real character."
Hanging out with Kanye with the mask on,
come on,
making rap videos. Well, I ain't say you can't make a rap video, but man, you one of the best. Was one of the best receivers in the league.
Not too many years ago, we did.
Not too long ago, yeah.
Not too long ago.
No.
Last but not least, man. So it's been whispers that Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen are beefing. Josh Allen is crying. I'm gonna say crying. He's disgruntled because of the play calling, especially in the playoffs with the Bills, and him not getting the ball in certain situations. Has been a typical diva. Josh Allen really hasn't said anything in response, but Diggs hasn't been in camp. Do you see him potentially getting traded? What do you see happening, or who should go to who and say, you know what, let's squash this?
I mean, it has to be Diggs. I mean,
before you go, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off, but RG3 was saying that the quarterback should go to receiver and mend this up because he is the one throwing the ball to that guy. Just based on that's what I read RG3's article on ESPN or wherever. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Drew. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, I'm looking at the situation. I got to go off history, and I'm looking at Diggs. You know, he forced his way out of Minnesota. He wasn't happy in Minnesota. Now you in Buffalo. Now you're not happy in Buffalo. Like it's something. I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Diggs need to look in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? You're in a good situation right now. You got one of the best quarterbacks throwing you the ball. You know what I'm saying? Every Sunday. Like, I mean, what are we doing? Like, you're forcing you. I feel like you're trying to force your way out. You know what I'm saying? There's a rumor that, you know what I'm saying, that he's trying to come to Dallas with his brother, but, you know, that's a whole nother subject. But, like, Diggs, bro, these receivers are divas, bro. We just got done talking about Antonio Brown. I mean, not saying that he's nowhere near that, but these receivers, bro, they feel entitled, bro. Like,
yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, and you know, it's tough knowing on the other end, looking in as a receiver. It's tough knowing how special you are and you still not getting the ball. That's a tough situation also. But at the same time, I feel like this is something I don't understand. Y'all meet every day. Y'all have offensive meetings every day. Why this can't be handled behind closed doors?
Yeah.
Y'all meet, y'all talk, y'all do everything all day, every day. Why y'all can't do this, man, in the mirror? Why y'all can't do this behind closed doors, man?
Right.
So, like Trill said, it's just typical wide receiver being a diva, man. Like, get it together, bro. Like, get it together. Y'all was damn near a play away from going to the Super Bowl 2 years ago against the Chiefs, man. Get it together, man.
Exactly.
Get it together. So,
and I know I was gonna say, I didn't mean to cut you off, but when I was tuning into these Buffalo games, I mean, I'm seeing Diggs getting the ball. I'm seeing Josh Allen going to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't see what he's complaining about, honestly.
Right. And we also know that he's dealing with double coverage also. So, I mean, you want to force passes? You want him to just throw it in doubles? Or, you know, it's a lot of stuff that deals with that, man. But I just hope that they can get it together because with him there, they're definitely Super Bowl contenders. They just got to get over that hump. They got to get over that Kansas City hump, man.
That too. And number two, you mentioned Kansas City. Kansas City is running an offense with no number one receiver and getting it done.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, it may not even be him. Maybe the coordinator say, hey, maybe we're not keying to this guy every play. Let's double down to these 5'8" receivers with 4 or 5, 4 speed and make something happen. We saw in the Super Bowl. Andy Reid ran the same play twice. Just switched the receiver, ran the same formation, and scored because the guy was a little bit faster.
Right.
So maybe this is the offense where they look at this new NFL and we see it on Madden.
Yeah.
You just see was 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah.
Running route.
Yeah. I think that Stephon Diggs also maybe could be looking at the tight end the Bills just drafted. Like, damn, okay, so y'all trying to, and you know what Stephon Diggs need to be looking at is what can I do to help this offense, man? Like that's the bottom. That's it at the end of the day. What can I do to help this offense get over the hump? So, man, I hope they work it out, man. I like the connection with them too. I think that it makes the AFC, you know, it gives some competition over there to the Chiefs. So I hope that they can work it out, man, just to make the AFC look good.
I also too, the fact that you standing out of camp or whatever it was because of that, it's tough, man. It says a lot about
that's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
Still one of the top 10s in the NFL, who's always damn near picked every year to be in Super Bowl contention.
Right.
But anyway,
right.
So that is our show for the evening. Thank you everybody for tuning in on this Sunday night. As of right now, this is to be our new time every other week. Still, we're going to do every 2 weeks. Like I said, our families and kids are doing everything. We all trying to be fathers and get our kids to sports events and family events, and and we all got we got significant others. We're taking trips, doing a lot of things. So the summertime is a little rough for us. We're still gonna try to get it in regularly every 2 weeks on a Sunday. All 4 of us are supposed to be here.
He did disappear.
But this is our new time every other week. So I would throw out reminders midweek what's going on. But thank everybody for tuning in, jumping in on a Sunday night.
Appreciate y'all coming out.
Oh yeah, shout out that boy T too, man. Shout out Lexi Poo too, man.
Man, let me see, man. Let me take a picture of that, man. Yeah, shout out to you, man.
Yeah. Take a picture. Oh, so yeah, this is the background. We just found the background to the homie Jay's name. We in the Madden League. It's very competitive. A lot of trash talking. We have a homeboy who's in there who's always calling everybody trash. This, and the other. He made the playoffs. Said somebody wasn't gonna make the playoffs, but ended up being the fourth seed and won the first round. But he got knocked out by a person who beat him twice. I'm gonna say a girl. I hate to say it like that. Twice in regular season. Then in playoffs, they played. His power went out. They started back over. She was winning 28-0. He quit. And this is back. He's
yeah.
I can't say what I want to say here, but you know who he is. You know who he is. But again, appreciate everybody for joining us. Like I said, every other Sunday we'll be here. We had a couple people reach out on the Facebook page. I got topics for us to talk about. Let us know. We will surely bring it up on here to the best of our ability. With that being said, we are out. Peace out.
All right, y'all. Appreciate
Good night,
you.
y'all.